Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining today. This is going to be a favorites roundup. I was thinking at first like, oh, my favorites are so haphazard, so like all over the place, it's not gonna make a full face. I don't know why I thought that because I pretty much do have a full face of favorites, but now here we are, the face is done and I'm just gonna be talking through it. So casual talk through kind of video. So you're not gonna be missing any applications, so it's the kind of video you can put on and I don't know, get a couple chores done or make your dinner, whatever. The favorites are great. I was just thinking I didn't have as many as I turned out to have. And part of it too was like I had compiled these over some time and then last minute I had some additional things to add and it turns out it's kind of a lot, but that's cool. All right, first thing, skincare, the Deep Retreat mask from the Professional line from Benefit. It's the pore clearing clay mask. I talked about this before. It's purple and you're gonna put it on and it kind of like lightens as it dries on the face and you can see where oil is being pulled out, like little dots will show up across the face. That's very satisfying, but the most satisfying part is after you rinse it off, your skin is so soft. Like I was expecting more of this tight, I just did a clarifying kind of mask type of feel, but it really feels so good. You're supposed to leave this on for half an hour. I mean, it's well worth it. When I do a mask, you know, I trust that, yeah, I've just done a mask that claims to have a ton of great serums in it and it's really moisturizing and that's nice and all. But the absolute undeniable softness of skin after this is like just the best instant gratification. So I love that mask. I talked about it before, but it's a true gem. Here's another thing. This. I know we love the Tree Hut scrubs. I have a whole like Tree Hut scrub collection. Most recently I got the vanilla one. I do really like it, but the scent of this is taking me through the roof and for times when I don't actually want to use my watermelon scrub, but I want that juicy, delicious watermelon scent, just use the body wash. This thing is huge. It's 18 fluid ounces. It's the foaming gel wash. It says it has a hydrating oil complex. All I know is it suds up, it foams up really beautifully, and the scent is just knock your socks off, juicy, sweet watermelon. Beyond real watermelon, it's like watermelon candy. And I do have pretty much the whole watermelon family of things. I have the scrub that also smells like this, and then when I get out, I can put on the watermelon lotion in the tub. I've always loved a watermelon scent. If you were the kid who gravitated toward the watermelon lip smacker over the strawberry one, you're gonna love this. It's big. I mean, you're getting a lot of product, but it's really good. As for makeup stuff, one of the most impressive foundations for me in the past month has been this one from Juvia's Place. It's the I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation. I got mine from Ulta. Shade is Capri, and it's seeming like a pretty darn good shade, don't you think? Coverage is amazing. Really, really good. You don't even need a full pump to get this level of coverage. I go like close to a full pump. My most preferred way to blend it in is probably some kind of blending sponge. It packs a really big coverage punch, but yet after you blend it in, I notice this kind of radiance across the skin. It's not like super luminous and dewy, but there's just a gentle glow. However, you do not feel super tacky after you put it on. It's not the kind of thing where, oh my gosh, I've got to feel like I've got to set my entire face with powder over every square inch to feel like this isn't just going to shift off onto my hand as I'm doing something not thinking throughout the day. It's a really, really ideal texture in that way. So I have been enjoying the heck out of it. It's got great staying power. Another thing, maybe a little honorable mention here, but the House Labs foundation, I know a lot of people love this and I was kind of late to trying it. It's the Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I am in 200 light, medium, neutral. And I have to say this one, it's like a little less coverage than this and also maybe a little juicier on the skin, but the staying power for this is actually fantastic on me too. And that kind of surprised me. Like I've had some real long days where I've worn that and thought, dang, that held up well. But this I just feel is the most outstanding because it's not giving me weird texture, but yet it's giving me natural finish, but yet it's also giving me the full coverage. So loving it. Concealer wise, couple of things. I've lately been getting definitely back into my Neutrogena Hydro Boost Concealer. I wear it in the shade Fair. I've also worn Light. So we're talking stick concealer and it has a little like hydrating core. So smooth, so creamy, easy, swipe it on type vibes. If you're putting on this kind of coverage, a lighter weight concealer can totally do. So I've enjoyed that, but also the Hard Candy Glamouflage. I guess what we've decided with this one, right, is that it's pretty much the best bang for your buck in terms of drugstore full coverage concealer. It's coming in now $5 and change change. So that's coming in at less than the camo concealer, which is now at $7, right? I've been wearing this in the shade Fair. I do have it on today. It's nice and brightening on my under eye. But like I've talked about in recent videos, you have a range with a full coverage concealer. You can put on tiny little dots and, you know, kind of do the bare minimum but still get a great effect from stuff like this, or give yourself a little more. If you're going glam, if you got a lot to cover up, it's really a beautiful product. And if you don't have access to hard candy in your store, you know, you can check Walmart's website and you can also buy directly from the hard candy website, which I have done. And it was great. Everything came packaged beautifully. Still on the topic of other face stuff, I mean, this was a huge find. I probably should have devoted an entire video to saying I found something that's super duper comparable to my Kosas Cloud set, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade Porcelain. This really coincides with the shade Airy. Now, I'm sure if you went down the line and got a little bit deeper in shades, you would find something that pairs up with Breezy or other shades of the Cloud set. But the thing here is it's a texture situation. There's a really nice softness here, but it's not too soft, okay? It's not acting like powder foundation, but it's acting like a really nice kind of X Factor blurring type of powder, especially when applied on top of the finished look. That's where you really see it, okay? You see it doing the stuff where you're like, oh, okay, the pores are gone. Or you can go over this zone where it's kind of like under eye meets blush and really smooth that area out. It's so nice. It's great for touch-ups. In the last video, I straight up just set the under eye immediately with this. So you got options. It's a really good powder. I remembered this being a good one, and I've got a shade that's more of an all-over skin tone match for me that's in my collection. But going up in tone a little bit, if you're wanting something kind of brightening, think about doing that because it really behaves in the very same way I've been using the Kosas Cloud set. Couple of bronzers. I've been reaching for this one a lot. It might seem like every day of my life I'm up here shooting a video, but really it's only several times a week, and the rest of the week I'm still doing my makeup every single day. And I reach for this one a lot. The Hard Candy Instant Summer in the shade Tan. Talk about a beautiful textured drugstore bronzer in a great shade that I feel like would work for a multitude of people. It's soft, it's pigmented, every bit as good as the L'Oreal Infallible. And I do love my Rimmel Natural bronzer. This one's just kind of been it for me right now. I've been reaching for it a lot. Also my Patrick Ta. This is the contour, so when I'm wanting to get real serious about it, this is very satisfying because you've got the cream and the powder. The cream is under the window. This is the shade She's Sculpted. And using it if you want the full effect, because I think this is super important. This brush is probably like even more of the favorite than the product itself, because see this chunky, like it looks like a fan brush, but it's a chunky fan brush, and the way that chisels out the cheeks. I mean, I had a person say on the Patrick Ta video, I can't remember how the insult came out. I don't remember how she said it, but it was worse the effect of, this is the only time in the history of your channel your contour has looked good. I have to laugh at the confidence with which I will sometimes be dissed in the comments section when, for you to make that claim, I mean, there's a lot of videos you would have had to have watched to have accurately made that claim. You know what I mean? I'm like, are you sure, honey? Because you've had to have done a lot of research. Anyway, silly stuff. If you do want to see an application, go back to my Patrick Ta video, because this like really just gives you the contour in the exact right place, not too much, not too thick, not too high, not too low. Like you really, if you can feel that bone there and just hit right on it to slightly under it, it's just such a perfect placement with this brush. And then you can use this end, which is less remarkable, but you know, of course, if you got it in your hand, you're going to use it and go down to that powder bronzer. So really cool product, but I mean, even if you're not working with this, we know there are a lot of great cream bronzers out there. To get this brush, like that's really the most remarkable part of the whole situation. I've been reaching for this a ton, even just like parts of it. I love the blush. I'm wearing that blush today. I'm wearing what I call the blush topper. This could be used as eyeshadow as well. This under the eye, so brightening. Like just a little pop of that. If you're going about your face and you're like, okay, I'll use this as my highlight, which I don't think I even applied highlighter today. What the heck? I'll do that right now. I love this shade. So pretty. Oh, loving. But you know, if you're just bouncing around the palette, try that shade up on your under eye and you're gonna be like, whoa, that was nice. Again, I'm sure I'll be linking to a lot of videos below if you want more info, but this turned out such a pretty effortless eye look as well. Using those shades in the crease. The highlighter's kind of an all-purpose eyeshadow type shade. This makes your eyeshadow look flawless. That color right down there at the bottom, that blends out your edges just perfectly. So I love this compact size, great little easy breezy summertime palette. Oh, and the Amy Cole stick, the Desert Date Cream Multi-Stick. I think I called the shade Desert Date in the past, but this color that I have is called Spice. It's the plummy one. I threw this on TikTok recently. Like, it transformed the look. One thing that you could do even after your entire face is done, to completely transform and improve your look would be to take this plummy, beautiful stick, swipe it on the cheeks, blend it in, swipe it on the lips. It has kind of a matte finish, okay? It's not super creamy, juicy. It is much more matte seeming than the Persona sticks, let's say, and even more matte, I would have to say, than the M Cosmetics So Soft sticks, but it's not unblendable. It's not too dry. You can work with this shade. It's just little swipes on the cheeks. I like blending that out with a dense brush like a Sephora 56, and then like just little dabs on the lips, giving you that kind of stained, blotted look. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. This is the color we're talking about, but then it's shearing. It's shearing out, but it's giving you so much rosy radiance on the cheeks. And then, like I said, the most perfect stained lip. This is one of the best things I've gotten from Sephora lately, for sure. And we love lavender packaging. On the eyes, probably the eye product that has gotten me the most excited lately. And I do have some things to talk about at the end that are kind of on the rise, like up and coming things for me, but for most of the month, it's been all about Italian Spritz. I really like this palette, and I'm starting to respect some of the shades that have given me trouble, these two shimmers, a little bit more, because they are so pretty. If you'll just put them on with your finger and just kind of forget about things and appreciate that most of the rest of the palette is not that finicky. Those shades, like I'm wearing them today. I'm wearing the Ciao Bellini and the Take Me to Church. I did both of those on the inner part working in, and then I've got this, the Mamma Mia shade, which we love. I love that that's in there. I love that the blue is in there. This shade is stunning, that little purpley number right there. And then you got everything to set up your crease in so many different ways, like from terracotta to honey mustard to just light, simple crease colors. It's so good. And I just love the way that look turned out. And it was literally just probably this shade was my started out color in the crease. We put this in the outer corner, and then we faded between these two on the lid, giving that kind of peachy rose gold vibe. I love that look, and I really come out enjoying every look that I've done. That really is kind of the marker of success of a palette for me, is number one, I like every look that I turn out, and number two, I feel like there's still potential for more. Like, I've done a lot here, but every time I open it up, I'm like, well, I haven't combined that shade and that shade yet. I still continue to see opportunity in it, so I've loved Italian Spritz. I didn't use these today, but the Face Off stuff from Hard Candy, like, please, if you try nothing else from the drugstore, get these bronzer and blush products. The best shade for me in the contour bronzer is Sweet Tea, and I love the Born Yesterday blush. Think luminous cool pink, and the application, whew, why won't everybody just catch on to that with their liquid stuff? Just give us a doe foot. Doe foot works great, and you don't have that messy, spongy tip applicator thing. If we're talking brows, I've been using the heck out of my Teddy Brow from Hard Candy also. Amazing hold. I like the creaminess level in it. It will add a good amount of color to your brows, so keep that in mind. It can do the job on its own pretty well, but the hold is impeccable, so love that. And then lip-wise, yes, we got some lip things. So I, in my own collection, rediscovered the product from Maybelline. It's called Baddest Beige, and what was the name of the line? Shine Compulsion was the line of the lipstick. And it's just this pretty, creamy, shiny nude. And I don't like talking about things and raving about things that somebody's maybe gonna fall in love with the way I did, but in order to find it, you're paying like 17 bucks on Amazon or something even crazier than that. Like, it is my duty, it is my obligation to find some kind of good alternative. And I did find it in the drugstore. It's the shade Beige Eden from the L'Oreal Glow Paradise line. I think they call these, what do they call it? Balm and lipstick or something like that. But it's this color. I've got this shade all over my lips, but I also give it a little extra contrast with the lip liners I love to use. I found myself thinking this the other day, if there could only be two, like these are the perfect shades, a cooler nude and a warmer nude. Today I'm wearing the warmer one called Kiss and Tell. These are double-ended, they've got a brush on the other end, and that helps you like perfectly blend your lip liner. If you like to use your lip liner after you've put on some lipstick, just to alter the shade a little bit. Don't tell me I'm the only one who does this, but like, you look, I'm just shaping. We're just reshaping the lips. And then you're like, okay, that looks nice, but we don't want that to wear down in a funny way. So we use the little brush. And I get a nice blend of everything. And we've created this beautiful custom shade. I'm into that nude. My other color that I have is First Move. And this, let's just show this on the hand. This more like, I would say a classic dusty rose look. Just a little bit cooler vibe. See the warmth in Kiss and Tell, and then First Move just has that dusty, dusky kind of quality. And I went warmer today because I saw that warmth coming out from the eye. But those two lip liners are fantastic. I would say they really rival the Revlon Color Stay lip liners in terms of staying power. So where you'll get the staying power is not really from doing what I just did there, going on top of an ultra creamy lipstick. That's not the staying power, like power move. The power move is to fill in the lips entirely when they're dry, step one, and then if you must go over that with something, you can, but the lip liner is going to be more prone to lasting when it's filling in the whole lips before you got a bunch of creamy stuff on there. Okay, and then I found another shade of that too. When I got Beige Eden, I also got Nude Heaven because I thought, well, maybe that will be the shade that is the baddest beige dupe. You know you're a drugstore makeup lover when you're just duping other drugstore stuff, but let me show you both colors together. Beige Eden, this is the one that's on my lips currently, so that's the most nude. Nude Heaven is a little more rosy, okay, little bit deeper. If you're not into being quite as nude as my lips look right now, go for Nude Heaven. I mean, it'll still be soft and really doesn't interfere with your makeup look at all, honestly. Like, you can have any kind of thing going on cheeks and eyes and then put either of those shades on the lips and it just works. And another great lip product, this from Sephora. I raved on this when I first got it, and it's staying in there. It's just keeping up. It's the Sheer Matte Lip Balm from the Sephora collection. This is the shade called Fuchsia. I wouldn't call it fuchsia. It's not like any fuchsia I own. I would say it's a nice soft red, maybe soft cool red we could call it. But the lips look so pillowy and blotted. It's matte, y'all. We're loving still the CoverGirl Clean Fresh balms when we want a little tinted lip balm. These are great, but they leave some shine. And if you're feeling like, I just want that pillowy, matte, blotted lip look, try this out. This is not going to be as rich and plummy as the Amy Cole stick. It's going to be a little more reddish, soft red. Man, do I have some faves or do I have some faves? I think that wraps it up. I think I got to everything. Thank you all so much for watching. I really needed to do a big favorites roundup this month because I didn't do it last month, and some of this stuff is just too good. As always, I want to hear what you think about these products in the comments section, or what favorites do you have? Did you fall in love with hard candy this past month like you were assigned to do? No, that's kind of the assignment, I think, is to definitely dig into hard candy where you can get it. There are some great products. I've done 2 videos on it. That's been kind of like the mega find of the month. And then I did want to say, on the rise, stuff that hasn't been with me for as long as a lot of the stuff I've just mentioned, but is definitely like surging up there for me. The Sydney Grace palettes. I mean, an impeccable neutral palette. I can't imagine any circumstance in life where this palette wouldn't be totally workable and enjoyable. And perhaps even more than that, I was so wowed by the light shade, the light color option of the Face Quad. This was beautiful. You have bronzer, you have 2 blushes and 2 different finishes, and a highlighter that is the sneakiest but most beautifully brightening thing. Like, look up close. Invite people to come in and see this on your cheeks and say, can you spot the shimmer flakes? Because there's none. I love it. I love it so much. So those are on the rise products for me, and a couple of others. Products to watch, products on the rise in terms of my faves. My blushes that came from Dollar Tree. LA Colors blush in the shade Berry Plum. So satisfying, so beautiful on the skin. And then this essentially ageless line from Be Pure. What was this color called? I think it was called Dahlia, but it's like warm, rich peach. Both beautiful, to be honest with you, $1.25 in high-end comparable blushes. And another thing on the rise, I've been getting back into my Laura Mercier loose powder in the rose shade. This came in quick. It didn't latch on with me at the start. It's the translucent loose setting powder tone up, and the shade is called Rose. And it's just got that like pinky rosy tone for setting your under eye, using it with this little puff right after concealer, and I'm really getting into that again. I have so many good loose powders, but that one's really like pumping things up, brightening me up, and I've kind of gotten into that within like the past week or so, so I thought I'd share. But thank you all for watching today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again very, very soon. I love you. Bye.